"What is going on, Aisha?" demanded Mrs. Dada, a stern elderly woman. "Why do we see you with different people every day, all acting strange?" Aisha's heart raced. I can't explain it now. But please, trust me. There's no harm in what you're seeing." The crowd murmured, unsure whether to believe her. Osei, now in a teenage boy body, squeezed her hand, a silent gesture of support. Aisha lived a quiet life in the small town of Uju, known for its serene landscapes and whispered tales of the supernatural. She worked as a librarian, finding comfort in the rows of dusty books and the silent stories they held. Her days were filled with routine, her evenings with reading, and her nights with dreams of adventures beyond the ordinary. One chilly autumn morning, as Aisha unlocked the library doors, she noticed an old man lingering by the entrance. His presence was unusual, his eyes scanning the shelves with a strange intensity. She approached him with a warm smile, curious about this unexpected visitor. "Can I help you find something?" she asked, her voice gentle. The old man looked at her, a flicker of recognition in his eyes. "Perhaps you already have," he replied cryptically, his voice carrying an unfamiliar warmth that made Aisha feel strangely connected to him. Aisha felt a sudden rush of emotions, an inexplicable familiarity. They chatted for a while, and she learned his name was Osei. He spoke of things that resonated deeply within her, tales of ancient times and lost loves. When he left, she felt a pang of sadness, as if she was losing something important. The next day, Aisha noticed a child in the library, a young girl with wide, curious eyes. The girl approached Aisha and said, "Do you believe in magic?" Aisha chuckled softly. "I believe in many things. Why do you ask?" The girl shrugged, her gaze intense. "Sometimes, magic is the only explanation." Aisha watched the girl leave, the same sense of familiarity tugging at her heart. Over the following days, different people visited the library, a middle-aged woman, a teenager, a young man, all exuding the same aura. It was as if they were connected by an unseen thread, and Aisha couldn't shake the feeling that something supernatural was at play. One evening, as Aisha closed the library, a young man approached her. His eyes bore the same recognition she had seen in the others. "Aisha, we need to talk," he said urgently. "Who are you?" she asked, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and anticipation. "I'm Osei. I need to explain everything." They sat on a bench outside the library, the cool evening air wrapping around them. Osei, now in the body of a young man, began to tell his story. He explained that he was bound by an ancient curse, forced to inhabit a different body every day. He had been living this fragmented existence for centuries, never able to fully connect with anyone. "I don't know why, but I feel drawn to you," Osei confessed. "Every day, I find myself coming to this library, looking for you." Aisha's mind raced. The idea of a spirit inhabiting different bodies seemed impossible, yet she couldn't deny the familiarity she felt with each person. She decided to believe him, feeling an inexplicable trust in his words. Their daily encounters grew deeper. They shared stories, emotions, and dreams. Aisha felt her heart swell with feelings she had never experienced before. But the reality of Osei's existence cast a shadow over their growing bond. One night, Aisha delved into the town's history, searching for any clue about Osei's curse. She discovered an ancient tale about a man who angered the spirits and was condemned to live a fragmented life until he found true love. The curse could only be broken by a ritual, but the details were vague and ominous. The more she learned, the more her heart ached. She wanted to help Osei, but the path ahead seemed fraught with peril. The next morning, Aisha awoke with a renewed determination to help Osei. She couldn't bear the thought of him living in perpetual limbo, unable to find peace or happiness. She decided to confront him with what she had discovered. As she entered the library, she noticed a woman in her 30s browsing the shelves. The woman looked up, and Aisha recognized the same familiar aura. "Osei?" Aisha whispered, approaching cautiously. The woman nodded. "Yes, it's me." Aisha led her to a quiet corner of the library where they could talk without being disturbed. She shared the story she had found about the curse and the ritual that could break it. Osei listened intently, his expression a mix of hope and sorrow. "Do you think it could work?" Aisha asked, her voice trembling. "It might," Osei replied, "but the cost is high. The ritual requires me to permanently possess one body, but the soul of that person will be lost forever." Aisha's heart sank. The moral weight of the decision was overwhelming. She couldn't ask anyone to sacrifice their life for Osei's freedom. "There has to be another way," she said, tears welling up in her eyes. "I've searched for centuries," Osei said, his voice breaking. "But with you, I finally feel hope. Maybe together, we can find a solution." Their bond grew stronger as they continued to search for answers. They spent hours poring over ancient texts, piecing together the fragments of the ritual. Each day brought them closer, but the shadow of the impending decision loomed over them. As their connection deepened, Aisha and Osei faced increasing scrutiny from the townspeople. Rumors spread about the strange behaviors of those Osei inhabited. Fear and suspicion grew, and Aisha found herself at the center of the town's anxiety. One afternoon, as Aisha and Osei, now in the body of a teenage boy, walked through the market, they were confronted by a group of townspeople. "What is going on, Aisha?" demanded Mrs. Dada, a stern elderly woman. "Why do we see you with different people every day, all acting strange?" Aisha's heart raced. I can't explain it now. But please, trust me. There's no harm in what you're seeing." The crowd murmured, unsure whether to believe her. Osei squeezed her hand, a silent gesture of support. Later, in the safety of her home, Aisha turned to Osei. "We need to find a way to break this curse. I can't lose you." Osei nodded, his eyes filled with determination. "I've searched for centuries. But with you, I finally feel hope." They spent hours poring over ancient texts, piecing together the ritual that could break the curse. It required Osei to permanently possess one body, but the soul of that person would be lost forever. The moral weight of the decision was crushing. "I can't ask you to do this," Osei said, his voice breaking. "I can't take an innocent life." Aisha's heart ached. She loved him, but the price was too high. "There has to be another way," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. The tension in the town continued to rise as more people noticed the strange occurrences surrounding Aisha and her companions. The fear and suspicion reached a boiling point when a group of townspeople confronted Aisha outside the library one evening. "We demand answers, Aisha," a man shouted. "What is happening with these people you're always with?" Aisha stood her ground, her heart pounding. "I can't explain everything right now, but I promise there's no danger. Please, just trust me." The crowd was not easily placated. Murmurs of anger and fear rippled through the group, and Aisha felt the weight of their distrust pressing down on her. Osei, now in the body of an elderly woman, stepped forward. "Listen to her," Osei said, their voice calm but firm. "We mean no harm." The crowd hesitated, and Aisha seized the moment to lead Osei away. They hurried to her home, the safety of its walls offering a brief respite from the chaos outside. Inside, they collapsed onto the couch, the tension of the day draining from them. Aisha turned to Osei, her eyes filled with determination. "We need to find another way. I can't let this continue." Osei nodded, their eyes reflecting the same resolve. "I won't give up, Aisha. Together, we'll find a solution." Days turned into weeks as they continued their search. They delved deeper into the town's history, uncovering more about the curse and the ritual that could break it. Each discovery brought them closer, but the shadow of the impending decision loomed larger. One evening, as they pored over ancient texts in the library, a stranger approached them. He was tall, with an air of ancient wisdom and a presence that commanded attention. "You seek to break the curse," the stranger said, his voice echoing with power. "I am the one who cast it." Aisha's eyes widened. "Why? Why would you do such a thing?" "It was a punishment for Osei's arrogance," the stranger explained. "But I see now that it was too harsh. There is a third option." The stranger revealed that Aisha could merge her soul with Osei's, allowing them to be together in a shared, ephemeral existence. They would experience life through different bodies, but always together. "It's a sacrifice," the stranger said. "But it's the only way for you to be with him without harming another." Aisha felt a mixture of hope and fear. The idea of losing her individuality was terrifying, but the thought of a life without Osei was unbearable. She turned to Osei, now in the body of a teenage boy. "What do you think?" "I can't ask you to give up your life for me," Osei said, his voice trembling. "But if you choose this, I will be by your side forever." Aisha's heart swelled with love and determination. "I choose you, Osei. I choose us." The decision to merge their souls was not one to be taken lightly. Aisha and Osei spent the next few days discussing the implications and the potential consequences. The thought of becoming a single entity, experiencing life through different bodies, was both exhilarating and terrifying. "I've lived for centuries without truly living," Osei said one evening, his voice filled with longing. "With you, I finally feel alive." Aisha smiled, her heart aching with love. "And I can't imagine a life without you." They decided to perform the ritual on the night of the full moon, believing it would enhance their chances of success. As the day approached, Aisha felt a mixture of excitement and anxiety. She knew this was the right decision, but the unknowns weighed heavily on her mind. On the night of the full moon, they met the stranger in a secluded clearing in the forest. The air was charged with energy, the moonlight casting an ethereal glow on the surroundings. The stranger drew a circle of ancient runes around them and began chanting in a language long forgotten. Aisha and Osei stood in the center, holding hands, their hearts beating in unison. As the ritual progressed, Aisha felt a powerful energy enveloping them. She closed her eyes, surrendering to the sensation. Her soul seemed to intertwine with Osei's, their essences merging in a dance of light and shadow. When the chanting stopped, Aisha opened her eyes. She felt different, yet the same. Osei was with her, their presence a comforting warmth in her mind. "How do you feel?" Osei asked, their voice echoing in her thoughts. "It's strange," Aisha replied. "But I feel whole, like we're meant to be this way." The stranger smiled, his eyes filled with wisdom. "You have chosen love over fear. Now, you will live a unique existence, but always together." Aisha and Osei spent their first day as a merged entity exploring their new reality. They experienced life through the eyes of a child, the wisdom of an elder, and the strength of a warrior. Each body they inhabited offered new perspectives, new experiences. The townspeople noticed a change in those Osei inhabited. The once suspicious and fearful individuals now radiated a calm and positive energy. Slowly, the town began to accept the supernatural, embracing the beauty of Aisha and Osei's love. In their unique existence, Aisha and Osei found a deeper connection than they had ever imagined. They lived each day fully, appreciating the fleeting moments and the eternal bond they shared. The town of Uju, with its ancient history and whispered tales, became a place of acceptance and wonder, forever changed by the ephemeral love of a woman and a spirit. And so, in the small town of Uju, where the supernatural was a part of everyday life, the story of Aisha and Osei lived on. Their ephemeral love became a symbol of hope and acceptance, a testament to the power of love to conquer even the most impossible odds. If you enjoyed this story and the lessons it shared, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to show some love. Like the video if it made you think, and be sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss another interesting tale. Your support helps us bring more meaningful stories to life. Thanks for watching.